Hi, and welcome to Frame Society, where we discuss real life issues in film. Welcome back. Another week, another episode. Am I right?
Well, hello.
We have a pretty chill episode today.
Pun intended.
Yeah, completely intended. Pretty chill, very you can go get your iced Americanos for this one. It's too much now, sorry. Yeah, we're talking about Frozen 2. Welcome. Since we're talking about growing up, why don't we get right into it? So, the first thing that I think we should talk about, which is, I guess, a pretty obvious thing, which is the female hero. You know, this movie is highly acclaimed for it, and it's pretty obvious that, the story, it evolves because of Anna and Elsa. They aren't an accessory to the men in the story. I would say that most men in the story could be the accessory of their narrative, and not the other way around, which is the most common. They not only are the main characters and the center point of the story, they are the center point of the conflict, and not only do they clean up their messes, but they clean up the mess that their family, their ancestors, especially their grandpa, left behind, which is a really interesting way to see how they wrote these characters and this story and how they developed it.
It's not really the thing that, because if you watch like Mulan or even Rapunzel and Tangled, they're still powerful ladies and still move the story along, but they do need a man and a love story for it to be entertaining, which in Frozen, both Frozen 1 and Frozen 2, even Anna's and Kristoff relationship feels so not important, so it's fine. The real love that is shared in both the movies are sister love, and that's nice. Yeah, maybe. But I mean, also Frozen is a real musical, so it's a real musical. Usually Disney movies can be considered musicals, or most of them, but the really old one, no, but in the 90s and before 2000, it's not really old, sorry. They were more movies with music than musicals. Yeah. And Frozen
they had musical numbers, but they weren't really musicals. And this one, it's clearly a musical.
Frozen 2 is the first movie that really feels like a musical, because it's music every 2 seconds.
And it has the very Broadway vibe.
Yeah, it is very Broadway.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, I think the first movie is very centered on Anna finally connecting with her sister. The first movie is very Elsa oriented as well, but I think we have more of an understanding of the relationship through Anna, between them, and with the whole "Do you want to build a snowman" song and everything. And in the second movie, it's clearly very Elsa oriented. I mean, the whole movie, it's about her finally finding out where her powers come from and where her identity comes from. So yeah, I think this one, even though the first one still had a lot of Elsa, I think this one is way more Elsa, charged.
Of course, but I mean, in the first one we didn't watch. I mean, of course we follow a lot more Hannah than we do now in the second one, but Anna's relationship towards her sister doesn't change at all. From the beginning of the movie to the end, she still loves her. So who's really learning about feelings and sisterhood and everything, and her power and her place, and a little bit more about herself, is Elsa. Elsa is the one that do all the growing, because I don't think Anna grows a lot in the movie, in the first one. I mean,
great.
I mean, she do grow, but her relationship towards Elsa doesn't change that much. I thought like the last part of the movie was a little bit rushed. But the movie is also really
Yeah.
long. But the last part is definitely rushed. Like, she discovers that Holland, then she learned the truth, then she died, then 3 seconds later she's like bring
Yeah,
back to
and then
life.
it's like she dies, and then it's like Anna's power song, like I'm kind of depressed, but I gotta keep on living. And then she tries to figure everything out, and then
She
it's
she
Anna's
doesn't
moments to
even
shine.
try. She just like figures it out like
Yeah,
instantly. I mean, this part is really rushed.
I think in plot wise, even in Olaf's character, there was a lot that could have been explored, and even more in even more depth than it is in the movie, because he kind of represents the kids that uh, watched the first Frozen and are growing in this one, because in Olaf in the first one he just been created and he's excited about life, and he's so naive to the point that he doesn't know that snow melts with heat. um, and in this movie he starts to wonder and really overthink life's issues, and has existential crisis like, have you ever thought about how life is so short and oh my god, we change, and oh yeah, but I think when I grow up I'll understand it a bit better, or it will be easier. No, it will not, Olaf. It will be just worse. But in that part where he's with Elsa, makes them a nice kind of boat and just makes them go so she can go on to her adventure into Alta Holland. Olaf is starting to express his emotions, like saying he's feeling angry and he doesn't know why, and he starts saying, "Oh, I was expecting for Elsa to like be true to her words, and then she left us, and now I'm feeling angry." That was really interesting, but the problem is they just did that and never came back to that point,
Yeah.
never again.
That's another problem I have. The movie's really repetitive of the first movies. Like, it feels like, yeah, this time it's Elsa that died, frozen. But
Yeah.
I mean, we already had the frozen death in the first. Um, we, I feel like this movie's tried to do a lot of things, and doesn't really do much. Um, because I feel like, yeah, Olaf could have been better. I mean, a lot more developed, but like Anna as well, and Kristoff, and you feel like it's really centered on Elsa, but what Elsa goes through is not. She evolves a lot, and she finds herself, and she becomes like this type of hero that that save a whole a whole bunch of people. But I feel like it was too easy. It was too rushed. I don't know. I feel like this movie could have been two movies, or a really really long movie, or a series or something like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that way they could have expanded it more and made it more developed, and that's the thing. I think I would have appreciated more like a TV show, like a show, like a series, because then we could have had all the emotional charge of Elsa's journey, and maybe in even more depth. With all this, I guess we say bye bye.
yes.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.